y'all, I'm back again with another good recipe. See, I keep my promises. I'm going to make some hamburger steak, and I've written down what I've got in here because I kind of wing it and I have to write it down to tell y'all what I'm doing. I've got about 1 3/4 pounds of ground chuck. I have a half of a cup of cooked white rice, a tablespoon of parsley flakes, a tablespoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon and a half of salt, and a teaspoon of black pepper. I have a half a cup of chopped onion already in the bowl, 1 egg, and I'm going to mix that, and I'm going to add 1 package of Lipton's beefy onion soup mix. That just kicks the flavor up in anything made with hamburger meat. And I've got 2 minced garlic cloves. Now I'm going to get all of that in the bowl, and then I'll bring the camera down where y'all can see me working it up and making the patties. Then I'm going to dust them with flour, and I'm going to brown them in just a little bit of oil in the bottom of the skillet, probably 3 tablespoons, just enough to have oil to brown it. Then I'm going to take them out of the skillet, and I will make a thin brown gravy. Then I will put them back into the gravy and put a lid on it and cook them until they're done. So I will bring y'all back for each step of the process so you can make this and put it on your supper table. Okay, just a minute. Let me get the camera situated. Okay, let me add my onion soup mix. Now if I were not doing that and I really wanted to kick that flavor up, I could add a little bit of beef bouillon. But I'm going to get plenty of flavor from that. Get all that garlic in there. That's what makes it good. I like garlic. Okay, I'm going to add in my parsley. And then this is my salt, onion, and garlic powder. Now these are not the best kind of gloves to use because they are the ones you can get the big box at Sam's, but they don't stay on real good, but at least it'll keep it from getting under my fingernails. Okay, I'm just going to get it here with my hands. You really don't want to work your hamburger meat any more than you have to. Now they say it makes it tough. I don't know how much have to is. I just mix it till it feels like it's mixed, but I just thought I would impart that knowledge to you because it's been imparted to me. I'm just going to keep yanking my glove back on and mixing. You want to cut your onion in little bitty minced pieces because you don't want it making it break. Boy, that garlic was all in a wad right there. I'll spread that goodness around. Unless it's going to all get in my little hamburger thing, and I'll be okay with that. I like garlic. I like to put breadcrumbs, or in this, well, my word, that just hopped right down in my glove. So much for not getting it all over me, huh? I like to put the rice or breadcrumbs or something in it to keep it from being so packy. Oatmeal you could use, but then it'll be more like a meatloaf. So I thought I would try it with rice this time and see how that worked out. Okay, I think that's mixed enough. So I'm just going to break me off some, about like a tennis ball, a little bigger maybe. Roll it and pat it and mark it with a B and put it in the skillet for the baby and me. And I'll dunk them in a little bit of seasoned flour here in a minute. I'll have to get that ready, but I'll show you. And this is going to make more than I thought. I thought I would only get about 3, but by the time I put all the good flavors in it, I think I'm going to get 4 out of it. There's just 3 of us, so somebody can have more than 1. I might get 5. Look at that. That's stretching a little bit to go a long ways. I'll tell you what I do. I have a meat grinder, and it's not an expensive thing. And when they put like chuck roast or round roast on sale, I get it. Now sometimes the meat market will grind it for you, but I get it. Like if it's $1.97, I'll buy it and we grind it and put it up for hamburger, and it's a lot cheaper than buying it at $2.99 a pound. and sometimes more. So that's something for y'all to think about. That's where this came from. There was round roast on sale, and we bought it, got it good and cold, and ground it up. I like to save here and there when I can. I like a bargain. These little gloves are kind of getting on my nerves. The boogers, they want to stick to everything. Okay, I'm going to get 5 nice hamburger steaks or poor man's steak, whatever you want to call it. We just always call this hamburger steak because it's in the gravy, and then we serve it with cream potatoes. Y'all can serve it however. And if I was the only one eating, I'd add some bell pepper. But Troy don't really care for it, and the grandson, they'll eat it, but they don't really like it. So this meal's all about them. I'm going to make it where maybe they'll really enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to dust these with a little bit of flour to just crunch the outside a little bit. I got to get my grease hot. And I'll bring them back, show y'all while they're cooking, and then we'll go from there. I sure appreciate y'all watching and coming back for the next day's recipes. That gives me something to do. I'm going to tell y'all something else, or show you something else. Anytime I can, I'm going to use wax paper or a paper plate to keep from making a big old mess, because I can just throw this away when I get through dunking this meat in it. So I'm going to just lay them in it and then turn them over just enough to coat it where it'll brown good. You know, while I'm doing this, we could just play a little bit of a thankful game. Why don't y'all just try to think of something that's happened in your life that you're the most thankful for. Gratitude, a grateful heart, helps you to receive a lot of blessings. If you're grateful, then it seems like the good Lord gives you a little bit more along the way. We've played the thankful game before. One time at Thanksgiving, my little grandson had some problems at school, and I asked him at the dinner table that day at Thanksgiving, I said, "Baby, I want y'all to name some things that you're thankful for." The little feller said, "I'm thankful for Miss Dozier, but they kicked me out of school." It's bad when you get expelled from preschool. But his birthday came wrong, and he was bigger than the rest of them. And he was a little rough, little tough boy. He didn't pick fights, he just was rough. So anyhow, we've played the thankful game before, and it makes you to feel better because it makes you think on good things. If you're thankful for something, it's automatically going to be something that's good. Okay, I'm going to get these into the skillet, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like. I was trying to turn this meat over, and I got hot grease on my finger. And so I immediately went over there and got my lavender oil. And I used the Young Living, but I put it on my finger, and what's going to happen is I'm not going to have a sore place or a blister. I keep lavender, and I'll put it on there every little bit for a while, but I keep lavender oil here in the kitchen for that purpose. Because sometimes I hurt me, and I don't like that. Okay, these are browned on both sides, so I'm going to take them up and put a couple of more in, and then I'm going to make my brown gravy. Now in the gravy pot, I've got a half cup of oil and a half cup of flour, and I'm going to put some salt and pepper in it, and of course I'll put onion and garlic probably in it, and season that gravy up good, because that's what I'm going to cook these onions in. I mean these hamburger patties, and I'm probably going to slice an onion up in it too, just for extra flavor. So let me get these all browned up, and I'll be back. I want to show y'all how I flip this meat. I put my spatula under it and get it up. Then I hold on to this other side, and then I support it down, because the hamburger patties will break in half if you don't do that. And what happened a while ago, the grease splashed up on my finger, but my lavender's taking care of that. I'm going to get these two done, and I've got one more. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here and let it be cooking, and then I'll bring y'all back while I'm making the gravy. Okay, my gravy is good and brown, dark brown. Not real dark like a roux, but dark. So I'm going to start adding water, and I've got 4 cups here, and I'm going to see how much it takes. And I always add cold liquid when I'm making gravy. If you add hot liquid, it's going to splash a whole lot more and get all over you. Okay, I'm going to add the rest of my 4 cups and let that cook and thicken a little bit. To that, I'm adding about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of onion powder, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'll taste it for the saltiness here in a minute. I'm going to let this thicken just a little bit, and then I will and cook the flour real good. Let it blend, let it all get married here. I'm going to taste of it. And then I'm going to add my hamburger steaks back in and cover it and let it cook for about 40 minutes. I had not added salt, so I had put 1/2 of a teaspoon. I'm going to put about 1/4 more. It's not quite seasoned enough. So I'll put 1/2. This is 1/2 here. Add another little dab and taste it. I think that'll be just about right. Now everybody doesn't like black pepper, but I'm going to add about a teaspoon more of black pepper. I like the taste of black pepper, and this is coarse ground black pepper. Now you could add you a can of stewed tomatoes to this, and it would be more like a Swiss steak or whatever you want to call it. But everybody at my house don't like tomato stuff either. So, and if I did that, I would slice some bell peppers and onions and put in it. But I think it's just about perfect. And taste it one more time. That's just about what I want. So I'm going to cut my fire down, and I'm going to add these hamburger steaks back, and I'm going to add them into the gravy here. Just put them down in there, and it's okay if they sit on top of each other once they're down into the liquid. And it's going to, some of them are not going to be totally covered, but it's going to pop up around them and season them. So I think we're going to be good to go here. And I may come in here in a little bit and make sure that gravy's on all of them like this. But you're going to have some flavor to cook out of the hamburger meat, and it's going to cook into the gravy, and it's just going to be wonderful. So I'll bring y'all back when it's done. Okay, y'all, here's the plated up hamburger steak, and it is so tasty and flavorful. It's just a perfect combination. I hope y'all will try this recipe. The perfect happy ending to a good cooking day is a good meal. And this hamburger steak is really, really good. So I hope y'all will try it. I think I got the combination perfect on the seasoning, and the gravy turned out great. And there's just a lot of serving options, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. Rice or potatoes or neither, or just meat and vegetables, whatever you want to do with it. It's really a great meat dish. I hope y'all have a good evening, and I hope you have a good supper today. Hope you come back tomorrow for another good recipe. And y'all take care of yourself. Spend some family time. And the good Lord bless you. Till tomorrow when we meet right here in this kitchen again.